It's Friday, the beginning of another weekend. Welcome to the show. I am Mariah Afolabi Brown. As always, I have the ladies with me. Hello.
Good morning, Mom.
Forgot my glasses again.
Oh, somebody should get it for you.
I'll probably have to get the glasses. Well, how are you doing? What's planned for your weekend? This is your T-shirt. What does it say?
I don't know. What does it say?
This is my sarcasm shirt.
Yeah, like I'm in the mood to be sarcastic today.
Okay. So what's
God help me here.
Breathing deep and...
a lot has been happening. I had a major incident yesterday, but...
Good?
No, not good. I don't want to share on TV.
Okay.
You know, people complain we share too much of our life stories. I'll be keeping quiet. Now, let me see what we enjoy. But I have as well. I have a training tomorrow to attend, organized by FCMB Bank. IELTS, that's the International English Language Training System. So, you know, I'm putting my training consultation cap as a education consultant. I'll be doing a couple of trainings myself, and I want to refresh my skills as a trainer and a teacher and a consultant. So I'll be attending that training tomorrow. Right. I hope to have fun.
Nice. Okay, how you doing, Nima? I like this combination. This brown and gold. I mean,
It
looks really nice.
Yes. It's a small Ankara. That's the difference.
Thank you for this compliments.
Plans of the weekend?
We're making our direct certainly this weekend. My daughter's project, I wanted to do it on Wednesday, but the schedule was scattered. We need to submit it on Monday, so certainly this weekend. Don't invite me, I won't be coming. I'm just sitting home shopping for our plain material and doing the direct. Thank you, Miriam. God bless you for all the tie and dye. She just got in from Saudi and she got me everything I needed for this project. So thank you. Miriam is Gufran's auntie. She's always got her like that.
That's nice.
So I'm going to be doing that.
How you doing, Tukwe?
I'm very good.
Anything happening this weekend?
Yeah. I'm emceeing, hosting the...
Oh, today, right?
It's today, Thriving Businessmen Fellowship. They have a business luncheon summit this evening, and it's going to have like 6 powerful speakers. Like they were trying to solicit that we would like you to come and MC this event for us. We know that we didn't give you enough notice. I'm like, guys, I've been looking at your flyer for days. I've been praying that I want to attend this event. So when they're now begging me to come for something, you know, it's like when God just makes things align. So I'm very prepared.
What kind of summit is it?
It's a summit that involves business executives. So they've gone around, they've gone to 5 locations, Lagos, Abuja, Port Harcourt. They've been at Ibadan, Abeokuta, doing mini summits for small businesses, engaging them on finances, on human resource management and all of that. So now it's like a finishing for everything.
Right.
So
Perfect for you.
I'm looking forward to it.
I think you should invite all of your friends that are business owners. It'd be nice for them to have them.
I've shared the flyer. I think people don't understand that. If you don't have information in this day and age, it is your responsibility, it's your fault, because there are many people sharing knowledge on a daily basis. You are just wondering, oh, it's expensive or it's cheaper. There are events every day.
But
there's
it's easy
another
to
one
buy
I'm going for
Brazilian hair.
tomorrow. If you want to learn, there are enough people. The knowledge is out there. This is the best time to improve yourself, because all you need is out there.
I like that. I got my driver's license on Wednesday.
I went there yesterday. Yes, I went there yesterday.
Was it easy?
No, it wasn't.
It was easy for both of you. Trust me, it was.
I'm sure it was easier for us than others. Because that year, I was a bit stressed out. Tell me.
It was unnecessarily complicated.
Yes, unnecessarily.
So I was wondering, this system shouldn't be
this difficult.
It is. We bypassed. We were just supposed to just drop the form, pick up, and that should have been easy.
So what happened?
They gave me the rounds.
Okay.
I don't know if you got the rounds. I got the rounds. First thing, I went to go and see. I asked for Oga. He said he's not around. Okay, I asked for the auntie. She's not around. Okay, so I called her. He said, ask for somebody. So I went up. Someone else said, go to this place. I walked all the way there.
And it's a big compound.
That woman would tell me, because you didn't give me all these stories. I went back again. Someone else said, go this way. It was like, I did a triangle. I went another way. They went there. And can you go to another place? Until finally, Auntie Bissina called back. Got me somebody who now helped me. Take me around and took me to where I was, and eventually I got my...
But I sent you 2 numbers. There's someone that you have called.
I didn't get
that
the
person would
I
have
also
mentioned.
did my vehicle licensing and registration process, and I went through the automated. I didn't know they have the automated check. So they do like an automated check, and they give you an audited report. Oh, my brake light, one of them wasn't working. My park light, one of them wasn't working. The ones that were major, yes. So I drove my car in and they checked it. I was really impressed that was a smooth process. So there was a difficult side and
Yes,
there's
and I also witnessed somebody
Did you do
doing a
your
test.
driver's eye test?
I already had that. I've already done it in the past. But I saw
Not
somebody
in the
doing
past, you
that.
have to do it at every renewal. In fact, you should be doing it every 2 years. And the VIS center, I went there and we covered it in December.
Yeah,
Nice.
it was good. Oh, that was it was beautiful.
They have all these things they have
the last
automated.
they
All
upgraded
these
the
things.
process.
So when you pay for your driver's license,
you have to go to the one.
It's
entitled.
all hello aunties. With all due respect, I used to have a US driver's license. Trust me. All that one that is tripping you, no be tripping. Because all that machine, all this 1958 machine, I saw the thing. That thing you put your head like this. It's old gadget. Don't even go there. Don't
for your eye test.
tripping.
But let us give praise where it is.
Don't mind that.
Don't trip all
The checking of vehicle, the way they checked it was professionally done. It wasn't because I was on TV.
Let's go and
That was
watch.
their process.
Down here,
It was
And it's in your driver's license that you paid for. Your car, once you pay for your driver's license, you're entitled to have your car checked.
roadworthiness
So drive
checked.
your car in and check. It's free.
Congratulations,
It's inside
everybody.
your license.
Let us go on a break.
Yes, it's fine.
When we come back, we'll go through the front pages of the newspaper. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Elizabeth, get
James Bond
moves.
Let's start with the nation. NLC to governors. Get set for minimum wage fight. Buhari urges state firms to pay. Falana seeks enforcement of laws. Why Nigeria should sign Africa Continental Free Trade Area Agreement by panel. Uber moves both taxes for Lagos. VP, government committed to freeing Leah. Dignitaries honors Awo in Ibadan. Let's start with this Uber trying to do boats. Who has that story?
Yes. Okay, you can go ahead.
Okay, so this our taxi technology people have decided to expand into the waterways by having boats, and they have a working partnership with another company that is going to ensure that we have proper boats for the waterways taxi. So now you can now order taxi along the waterways.
But that
Uber is
They're
working.
working on it.
No, now somebody is considering that idea.
they are in talks already.
So it's going to, of course, ease traffic in a lot of ways for those people who have to
How would that
their
work?
jobs on the island.
So you keep ordering for boats?
No, you just simply
go by
no.
ferries
I'm sure they will have like a fleet, and you go there at a particular time and you meet an available one. I'm sure.
Let's talk about the major headline. NLC to governors. Get set for minimum wage.
Yes, so
What's the story?
the president is saying that they're about to kick off payment of the minimum wage, and it will be happening soon, though they've not told us, they've not given us a time frame for it. But NLC is saying that any state that is not ready to pay, that they should be ready for trouble because they are ready for them. They have
agree
no
with them.
excuse
This has
not
been
to pay.
signed
So
into-
this has been coming soon. We don't have a time frame, we don't have
It's
anything.
been signed into law since April.
Yeah.
I don't know why it's not been implemented in June. We are going to July. If we keep soon. That's how we became leaders of tomorrow.
But when I
never
read the
today.
article, the NLC doesn't specify which states have refused to implement
no.
it. They're just saying some states have. So we're waiting. Let us
They
know
didn't
which
tell us
state.
the states that
They didn't tell
have.
us. They
Because
didn't.
even Lagos
They're just saying that some states haven't implemented and they're going to fight this thing.
And
tooth
your
and
state
nail.
said they can't afford it.
Nobody has
So-
started paying.
Any
anyway.
state that is not able to afford it will have problems with the labor union.
Yeah.
Yesterday, they launched the Yoruba version of the biography of late Chief Obafemi Awolowo in Ibadan yesterday. It is just simply a Yoruba version of what is written before. And during the event, of course, because a lot of Yoruba dignitaries were there, they used it to reiterate that Southwest indigenes must not agree for the region to be dominated by any other tribe and ethnic group here.
Moving on to the Punch. Obasanjo NUT asked to lament rising number of out-of-school children. OBJ just realizing that. ASU says, what we see is a cycle of illiterate parents giving birth to illiterate children, who would also produce illiterate children, and the cycle continues. That cycle of intergenerational illiteracy must be broken, says ASU president. Human interest story here, man in court for beheading wife in Ekiti. Ondo kidnappers demand 2 million naira ransom for victim's family. I thought it was 5 million, but the figures are different. FG states local government share 3.14 trillion from federation accounts in 5 months. Yorubaland Alaafin Adams Adebanjo decry herdsmen attacks. Lai Mohammed to appear in court over NBC 2.5 billion naira fraud case. Let's start with this human interest story. What happened there?
Okay, go.
I want to talk about the ransom.
Okay, the young man who beheaded his betrothed in Ekiti sometime back for not upholding the agreement to marry him in the bush has been, arraigned in court for murder of the girl. So hopefully we get
It's a simple story. 23-year-old boy was supposed to marry a 14-year-old girl. He paid the bride price. The girl did not show up in his house.
Bang.
He found out that maybe she's having a relationship with somebody else and then went to carry out
Yes.
revenge.
So the commercial driver who was kidnapped, Felix Akinde, the abductors have contacted the owner of the bus to pay 5 million ransom. They called back afterwards and reduced it to 2 million naira, but the police is working and they have promised that they are going after them.
Who read this out of school story? Osun? Who has that
So
story?
I read the story.
Yes, I read it, and it's a follow-up to the what Punch has been talking about. So the challenge is that Asu is saying that a lot of children are out of school, and that the challenge we're going through is underfunding, or like the same stories.
Anything else that you could talk about today? Because I didn't take anything else. We're not saying anything
A group of
different.
young people went to see the president on the situation, and the federal government has decided to flag up open education system, open schooling system. I read that entire article to just understand how the open schooling system
What it meant.
But I didn't
They didn't even
get
give an
it.
explanation.
But they said it will take off in July, and they have funding. They have technical partnership with certain groups in Canada who will be helping them on the technical side of things.
Right.
And they're still working out the modalities to kick off in July. July is just a few weeks away.
Okay, let's move on. We have to move on. I know you want to take that. We have to move on. Daily Trust. Panel recommends signing of African Trade Pact. We can't afford to Russia's Buhari. FG states share 674.9 billion naira actually. Blockages expand revenue source. Block leakages expand revenue source, says Ramfak. Concerns over runway incursions as NCA issues weather alert. Many injured as another building collapses in Lagos. No land for Ruga settlement, says Afenifere.
So another building has collapsed in Lagos. The challenge of building collapse is continuous. However, Osoyitolu, that's the Lasema head, said that there was no death. Only 12 people injured. The building was actually still under construction when it collapsed in Fagba area of Lagos State. That's just
the story about this Africa trade.
Yes, I have the story. No, the treaty has been on the table since last year for the president to sign, but then he had to inaugurate a presidential committee, to look into it so that at least we're not signing our lives away. So they found out that they are recommending right now that he should go ahead and sign. There are pros and cons, but one of the advantages is that it will boost the African trade within. So we have like one continent market for everybody, and we'll have we'll project African goods and services. But another disadvantage is the fact that a lot of people will now import and cover it with their African goods. So we'll be buying goods thinking they're African goods, but they are imported, so that they can they can avoid this fee taxing from the ships and importation.
That's exactly what I wanted to say.
Yeah.
So, and I think Daily Trust actually did a good job to break it down, to make it really, really easy for you to understand the pros and the cons.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if the president is ready to sign, because he's saying they can't rush it, but I know he's been encouraged to sign. So we'll see how far that goes. Let's rush very quickly now to Daily Sun. Workers blow hot over 30,000 naira million wage. We talked about that already. Let's pick a story we haven't discussed. FG states and local government share 79 billion for May. I think this is the first one. This is the first time the Lagos State, the local governments are going to be getting directly. I think this is May.
It's a good one.
We're committed to layers freedom. Federal government tells US. Cattle colony. FG looking for trouble, says Ohaneze.
We need
to discuss it properly, and I think we need to get somebody from Yetiala to come and discuss, because we need information. People need to understand the plight of the herdsman and why they need this grazing in certain regions of our country. So we need information, because Ohaneze is saying that every other person within the southeast and other south are saying there is no
they don't want
colony. How do they decide on Ruga settlement as a solution without consulting the people who you want to set, we want to on their own property? They're not consulting. They said that they set up Ruga settlements in different areas, and people are not speaking up. So I'm wondering, where did the idea of Ruga settlement? They keep developing Wiper, and we spend so much money creating committees to look into what a committee committee has
But
decided.
you refuse to follow the recommendations
There are
of the
different
committee based
arguments.
on emotions and sentiments. If
I
it
don't
is a
understand.
solution, there's a problem on ground. If there's a solution to it, look at it as a solution and stop criticizing
But
it
this
on
is not
every
a solution.
baseless
We don't
thing.
see it as a
How-
solution.
You do not. But that is the recommendation
lot
of the
of
committee you put together.
Which
You put
committee
in that
and the
committee.
states are rejecting
I don't
it?
want
Based on
Listen,
what?
listen.
Based on what?
Ah,
You
they
don't
have
have
their-
a solution
they have
on what?
Guys,
Okay.
we cannot,
On what
we cannot
basis?
debate on it. That's the truth. We need
to get
professionals who
somebody.
understand this situation because there are
I have my opinion.
there are different ethnic groups working in different
Based
regions of
on
the country.
Yes.
There's a Yoruba person working in Kaduna right now.
Yes.
There's an Igbo person working in
Yes.
So
And we don't
they
have
already
settlement
a
for those people
framework.
in those towns.
There are Igbo settlements. You'll be surprised. In certain,
No.
Is it
In Lagos, I can give out two, three
in Lagos,
examples.
there are different settlements.
Let's not
Forget
discuss it.
just telling
ethnicity,
you
leave ethnicity
that
and look for a solution to the
we are so quick
criminalization that we're
we're
suffering.
so quick to judging, and this conversation we're having, this argument we're having, is
More like judging.
what happens amongst Nigerians.
Yeah.
So for us to stop arguing, what we're going to do is get somebody from Meyetila probably to come and explain to us what their own side, understand them first before you begin to critique. That's what we need to. That's the approach we need to take on this. Let's move on now to Vanguard. Oh, we can't take any more papers. That's what we can take. One at a time
that
because
Vanguard,
of this
yeah.
matter. Vanguard had the story I wanted to take actually, but unfortunately we have to wrap up.
Is this our
The
matter?
chopper, Abi.
The chopper
Yes.
and then the papa.
Let me slide in. Hurry.
Oh, okay. That chopper.
We got Nama's approval.
Yes,
according
they
to-
did. They said it was a medical emergency and that they got the approval and they partnered with the military and the police to carry out that and that they had to quickly rush the person to justice. I read the story for the hospital, but they did not mention.
Okay, let's go on a break. When we come back, BC will continue to tell us how she's feeling her hustle. Stay with us, right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. So on Wednesday, Nima showed us how she feels her hustle. Today, Obiajile will be also telling us a bit more about how she's used her own research abilities to feel her hustle. Tell us what's
What are
going
we
on.
feeling today?
Yeah, so we're feeling the rapping.
Ah,
You guys know
the
that I'm a
rapper.
rapper, yes.
Yes,
So, and one of the things for me, it's about writing, not just writing songs, but writing songs that have a meaning. And for rap, you need to, if you want it to be interesting, you need to work with rhymes. So what I do is I go to Google and I search for how to rhyme. So it gives me options. I have a lot of options.
For
how
real?
to, yes, to how to bury my rhymes in longer words, how to choose. I'm telling you, how to
me, I
choose.
can be a rapper, yeah.
I'm telling you, you can. Once you're good with words, how to, you can even give you options of a rhyming dictionary that you can consult. Yes. So you remember that song I did, Thank You, Jesus, where I had Mbolulu present and radical, my worshiping man, the critical, real man, practical. So all those,
so critical,
yes,
radical is what?
yes, radical. So I arrange my rhymes. And because I do Igbo, I write in English at first, then I have to now fix the Igbo language in between to give me that. Then after writing the song,
Interesting.
Igbo. After writing the song, the next thing I do is to search for tips for choosing a recording studio. It's very important that you pick a very good recording studio so that your sounds have good quality. And when I went on Google and I typed on it, it gave me options of what to look out for in choosing a recording studio. It talks about the engineer, the person who is going to mix and master your song. Is very important that the person is knowledgeable. It also shows you the facility, what to look out for, the equipment as well, what to look out for. So when I get into the studio, I know what I want you to use for certain
Based on your
places
research.
based on my research
So
using
this
Google.
is very interesting
telling
because lots
you.
of young people are going into music and they're
Yeah.
singing and they're
Without-
rapping.
without knowledge.
No, they have no clue. They can actually go online to get information
Yes.
about what they're doing.
Yeah.
I listened to one music recently, and I was wondering, it was so noisy. I couldn't get the words from the beats and all of that, and I'm sure that has to do with the production
Yes,
quality.
the production, the mixing, the mastering. It's very important that your engineer knows what he's supposed to do.
And you can
So
get all of
Google will
this
help
from-
you. I'm telling you.
Something like something
Just a click away.
Something as important as rapping.
Very
Rapping.
important.
You know,
It's
I have
interesting.
never-
I'm
it's
enjoying
interesting.
this. I'm enjoying everybody's hustle and how they could use research to work it out. So
Yes, to
it's
work it
different.
out.
Like I don't know what like I'm not in your industry, so I would never have thought it was
That we go
possible
online.
in any way. I
Go
thought it
to
was
Google.
strictly creative. That you don't need research for a creative job.
You need research to have quality.
in your
have standard in your
I'm
creativity.
actually literally hearing this for the first time. I mean, and I have loads of young people who I want to say, can you help me? Can I play my, can they play? Have you done research to make sure that you are driving your things properly and get the right production quality? Very, very fantastic information. Okay, so if you're also trying to feel your hustle, trying to get information, you can go online, just hashtag feel your hustle. Whatever it is you're searching for, take a picture, send it to that hashtag, and you can get an opportunity to attend a masterclass that has been held by Google to learn more information on how best to feel your hustle in this time and age. Nima, anything you want to add to that?
No,
She was blown away.
Let's go on a break. When we come back, these issues of insecurities is getting very rampant, and we couldn't but, I know today's Friday, we don't usually talk about these kind of things today, but it's so important we ask one or two people what they're doing concerning the issues of insecurity, especially along that Osun, Ekiti, Oyo, Axis. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. We have heard different stories about insecurities and alleged kidnapping in the southwest region, especially in the Osun State axis. On the show today, our guest will be enlightening us on the total welfare of Osun residents and helping make us also understand what else they're doing in other critical sectors in that state. Welcome with us, the Supervisor for the Ministry of Work, Infrastructure and ICT, Osun State, Engineer Remi Omowaye. Welcome to the show, sir.
Yeah, good morning,
Good to have
everybody. Good morning, people at home.
So, I mean, this issue of insecurity is ongoing this entire week.
Yeah.
Issues on Ikire Road, going towards Ekiti, the whole works. People are having issues with kidnappers, headsmen coming out from the bush. What is your government doing right now, as of today, to help, aside from the general meeting they had? What are you doing in your state to help secure the lives of poverty?
Well, thank you very much. I think I need to correct this notion. You said this week, and if we want to be sincere, we never had a case of kidnap this week. Okay. Well, there was a case of arrest in Ikire. One thing we have discovered is, while we agree that we've had cases of kidnap, the stuff had been blown out of proportion, especially by those circulating various stuff on the social media. But as a government, we have taken it upon ourselves to ensure that our state is safe. And my Governor Boyega also ensured that his Southwest partner and colleagues also came together to look at the way we can work together. Because one thing we have discovered is no amount of technology you deploy, no amount of soldiers and police that you put on those corridors, if you don't have the support of the locals, you can't achieve results. And if you look at it critically, in the last 2 weeks, there have not been issues of kidnap along that corridor. We've done a lot of things. We have deployed technology. The governor visited the chief of army staff, the IG, and the director of SSS. He also got some of his colleagues. We got the local hunters to also come on board. There is a particular portion that we had like 2 cases of kidnap because of the bad road. When the governor came in last year, he went to FEMA and the Federal Ministry of Works that, well, we need your support to patch this portion of the bad road and all that. And incidentally, it was when they also planned to patch the thing that the issue of kidnap started. So they had patched, as I speak to you now, from Ibadan through Ikire to Wasimi had been patched. You won't see any bad portion there. They're also taking it from Ife axis. So that had been taken care of, apart from what we are doing in terms of security. And because we had envisaged that this might likely happen, the immediate past administration of Ralph Aregbesola, then I was a commissioner for innovation, science and tech. He called me and was like, we need to also start planning to use security to tackle insecurity. So we established a call center, emergency call center, and we commenced with the arrangement to procure unmanned aerial vehicle drone. So as I speak with you, we had paid fully for the unmanned aerial vehicle.
We saw the drone picture.
Not the one you saw, because we had not brought it. That's the one for the army. But the one we got has a very good, the capacity is quite different from that. Like the one we got.
The drone we saw was not.
No, the one we saw is an unmanned aerial vehicle. Will do 150 kilometers per hour. Has a gimbal camera that can do 10-kilometer recording, And as I speak to you, we have the call center, the grand center that has been completed. We have one in Oshogbo, Ilesha, Iwo, and Ikire. I'm the one in charge, so not one. The call center is active. If you call our short code now, 293, the emergency call number
if you
is
have any
active.
kidnapping or attack within Osun, if you call 293, you would get help.
Once the drone lands, once the unmanned aerial vehicle comes, we're just trying to sort out the clearance issue with National Security Advisor and the Space Agency. So one is going to be in Ikire. So what that means is, and it can travel at 150 kilometers per hour. What that means is, if there's a case of kidnap, within 5 minutes, the drone can move from Ikire and get to any of that access. But we want to thank God, we want to thank the security operatives, we want to thank the traditional rulers because we have curbed those menace along
So you
that route.
guarantee that the Oyo Ife,
Ibadan.
Ibadan Ife Road,
Ikire
the
Road.
Ibadan Ife Road, the entire stretch all the way to Ife is safe.
It's safe.
But the AURTW report that we got, which is on social media, which you can also find, drivers are attesting to the dangers of that road and the continuous kidnappings happening on that road.
There was a case of kidnapping in Ondo. I work with the government
This is from Oyo Ife.
No. It was in Ondo. That was what the NRTW people reacted to. So not Osun.
Okay.
What we cannot isolate. It's a joint effort. We are working together because we've had cases of someone being kidnapped in Lagos. You find the person in Osun. So all the governors are working together. So it's not. It's not putting blame on a state or so we are all working together.
Yeah. I'm happy with what Osun State is doing. If every governor in their state will sit up and do things in this line, we'll have less insecurity issues in the country. But you mentioned that and it was even in the papers, I read it in Vanguard, that he visited the Chief of Army Staff to work out modalities on how to handle the insecurity in the state. What has come out of it now? What has...
In cases of joint patrol, there are some things I won't want to say on the air because it's a security issue.
Okay.
But the visit had brought out a lot of results, the police, the DSS, working with the locals. So there's been a lot of security surveillance along that corridor. Okay. And we are not restricting it to that corridors alone because issue of insecurity is not, issue of kidnap is not what you can resolve in a day. Then there's also another new dimension now, self-kidnap. If you look at it in the last 1 week, people arranging their kidnap. So we are doing a lot to ensure that we resolve
I'll come to you,
this.
Osun State, before the former governor left, there was issues of no payment of salaries,
modulated
issues
salaries.
of modulated salaries, and he always repeated something that they didn't have money. So where are you getting the money from today? I mean, where is your government getting money to do anything? Because when he left was as if Osun had nothing to work with.
Without a cabinet in
Well,
place.
let me correct this notion. When we had the issue of not being able to modulate salary, it wasn't Osun alone. If you recall, when President Muhammadu Buhari came out and said, okay, state that had issues should come out. 27 states came out. I must say that. And the agreement we had with the labor was that chunk of the workers were getting full salary.
Yes.
We now said, okay, the remaining ones that are not getting full salaries, as soon as our economic improves, we'll start paying full salary. And before the former governor left, the economy improved. Before he left, the economy improved and we started paying full salary. And when the new governor came in, we felt, yes, it's important we now restructure, find a way of improving our IGR, find a way of getting more resources so that we can meet our demands of paying workers their entitlement. And that has been our strategy.
Okay, so thank you for going there because that's still a challenge on ground, right? The issue of paying the salaries and gratuities. And why I'm linking this to the insecurity is because we know that Buratai mentioned that the military officials at the war front were not acting motivated. They were not, some of them were actually, according to him, doing things that were contravening and reducing the security or the power of the army. So how do you self-motivate your people? Because people within the states that I've spoken to feel like this government, and you are depending on them to execute on your projects. So how do you motivate them when you are still having issues with paying arrears of those that are pensioners?
Well, the good thing about State of Osun is we have our workers are understanding. Since this governor came in, we've been paying full salary, and we have an agreement with them that as soon as economic situation improves, we'll start clearing their backlog. Before the former governor left, he had paid a few of those backlog. A few days ago, some some pensioners. We have over 25,000 pensioners in Osun.
2012 and 2013.
Just 2011 and 2012 demonstrated, claiming that we had collected Paris Club. Paris Club is not what you collect and you hide. It's not what a state will collect and nobody will know.
But are they being owed 15 months?
No, we are owing a cadre of the pensioners, just as we are owing a cadre of the workers when we were paying modulated salary. And we interacted with them. We told them as soon as things improve, we are going to pay. So there's no doubt we are going to pay.
Question.
But
do you belong to that cadre as a
yes,
member
because
of the civil service?
Yes, because I served as a
owed?
commissioner. And I also got half salary. So when they pay today, I also get a lot.
Okay, because my mother-in-law is watching right now. I mean, every morning I know what she says concerning former governor. Let me not say it on air. She's been owed her pensions. She's been going back and forth to Osun to get this.
We are not saying we are not owing.
Okay.
We are saying as soon as this thing improves, we will pay.
Let's now go back to this thing you keep saying. As soon as it improves, what does that mean? As soon as the economy improves, what are you putting in place? Is it going to be magic?
In his administration, we're paying modulated for a cadre of. When it improved, we started paying full salary.
What does improvement mean? Define that, because
we had more funds.
That's the economic improvement.
Not necessarily based on allocation. I said we had also restructured the way we can increase our IJA. For instance, when this new governor came, we discovered we have a lot of mineral resources that we can tap into. Gold. Osun has the highest number of quantities of gold. Now, it is not exclusive right. The state does not have the power, so we need the federal government.
So that's
why we keep on saying it's important we restructure. So we have met with the Federal Ministry of Mining, and we are working together with CBN. So there are 3 states they are taken as pilot states: Osun, Zamfara, and I think Sokoto. So we have started that, and as soon as it starts yielding resources, our IGR would improve. We have more money to pay salary.
So that's what we're waiting for to get our pensions.
No. We are paying pensions. Don't mix it up. We are paying pensions.
Wait, there were
what we told you is there was a period we had challenge that we couldn't pay full salary to all cadres of workers, and immediately things improved. We paid a part of those areas, and we have told them that as soon as things further improve, we'll pay more of those areas.
I'll come to talk right now. I'll talk as a whole for a second. So I should go home just to check for them in the house. So I should go to my mother-in-law and tell her in the house that she should go to Osun, she should get her pension.
She gets a pension regularly. We are talking about arrears.
They have not paid her.
No, that's not true. That's not true. My father is also a pensioner.
Concerning the salary.
Those people that demonstrated, it was shown on your TV now. They didn't demonstrate because they are not being paid regularly. They said they are arrears.
New minimum wage. We have a new minimum wage policy. And Osun obviously hasn't started paying.
No state has started paying.
Okay.
Get that right. We won't leave others. The federal government has not even started paying minimum wage now.
Okay.
So get that right.
My question is in this form that if we have not paid backlogs, we've not paid the previous ones, we're not been able to maintain. What's the structure on ground? And I understand you are sitting on a gold mine. Science and technology has immense opportunities for not mineral resources, because I feel like Nigeria, we're limiting ourselves by focusing on gold and silver. Why don't you develop people? How is science technology planning to develop people, produce indigenous technology that will be sold to Africa, to Nigeria, and they will buy your technology? What are you doing in that that space?
Well, we are doing a lot. For the minimum wage, when we get to the bridge, we'll cross. We've started discussing with the labor unions. Okay. And we must get this right. Osun cannot stay in isolation. Federal government has not even started paying minimum wage. When we get to that bridge, we'll cross. But I told you, former Commissioner for Science and Technology. We are doing a lot to also, because human capacity is key. For instance, we discovered one of the reasons why agric is not thriving in Nigeria is output of people in agric in this part of the world is small. Let me give you a practical example. If you plant corn in the US on 1 hectare, you'll probably get 6 tons. Here, you still get 1.5 tons. So a lot of you find it reluctant to go into farming. When they do a lot of stress, what you sell at the end of it. So we are improving technology. For instance, when you make cattle today in Nigeria, you get 1 liter or 2 liters. In the US, in Israel, you get like 50 liters. So we had approached the Ministry of Agric. They are supporting us. The immediate past Minister for Agric, Audu said, we are giving you some cattle, and we'll look at the way we do cross-breeding. and see the way you can improve the yield of the milk. And we are talking to a company in Nigeria. We want to make sure so that you won't have been advertising on how to see how we work together so that we can empower our youth, because we also want the reliance on white-collar job to reduce and people get enough from farm.
I want us to take a look at the health sector. I know a lot is happening right now. At least the governor inaugurated a 6-man committee to help to revitalize, to revitalize the primary health care, about 332. Now, how do you plan to go about this? I'm also aware that there's a grant. You guys got money to handle this issue.
Because we did well.
Okay.
Well, we got a grant of $20 million from a scheme called Saving 1 Million Life, a scheme of the Federal Ministry of the Health. We came second. They assessed all states in Nigeria based on indices on maternal and child health. So we came second. We got a $20 million. And immediately the new governor came in, he decided to set up Health Improvement Committee, making himself the chairman because he wanted to oversee. And part of what we came up with was revitalizing 332 primary care center and revitalizing of the state's secondary health care facility. So in the first phase, we awarded 100. So as I speak to you, about 70
almost ready.
We'll be commissioning about 10 early next week. We use the word revitalization because it goes beyond structure. If it was just structure, I would have said rehabilitation. But we say revitalization because personnel issue, ensuring that you have basic facilities that you need to have at the primary care centers, and ensuring that there's a proper synergy between the primary care centers and the secondary health care center. Okay,
let me go on. I have to go on a break. When I come back, we'll continue this conversation with you. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Very beautiful.
Thanks for staying with us. All right, so I know one of the reasons, one of our main focus of bringing you is this issue of insecurity. But you mentioned something about health. I would like you to complete, because I know I go to that state often, and trust me, I'm still appalled, I would say, about a lot of infrastructural decline concerning health, education, that I have seen and observed. When I drive to Ife now,
no, that's not true.
Outside OAU, there's nothing else.
I just told you we won 20 million because we performed very well in our health sector.
How did you perform? How did you perform?
There are indices. Yobe State came first, Osun came second. And one of the reasons why we want to make sure we use this money very well is we want to come first in the next assessment. Now, we are doing 332.
What does 332 mean?
300.
We have 332 wards. So we are ensuring that we revitalize one per ward, so that when you get to that facility, basic thing that you need, you will get. And we want to also encourage this referral system. We also discovered that there's nothing you can do about this birth attendant issue. Nigeria has the second highest maternal cases in the world. So we want to also encourage, and we are doing that, traditional birth attendants. We want to ensure that there's synergy between traditional birth attendants and the primary health care facilities. And we have provided all what is required.
So what is required? You say all the medical consumable. One issue we have in Lagos, for those of us that use public health, is that we need to buy gloves, we need to buy a syringe.
No, for Osun, you won't buy that. Let me also say that we must acknowledge the president. There's what they call Basic Healthcare Provision Fund, whereby 1% of the consolidated revenue will go to health sector. That has been signed by the president. So, and they are doing pilot scheme.
If anybody,
Osun, let me
ask the question. So that, because you've already said that it's not done there. If anybody watching now goes to a primary healthcare center and she's told to go and buy gloves, cotton, what should the person do?
No, they won't buy. They won't even ask them to buy, because with the Basic Healthcare Provision Fund, they picked 3 states for pilot program, pilot scheme. So Osun is on that. We are among the 3 states. Each of the primary care center that we are revitalizing will be given certain amount every month, at least for the next 2 years. The money is in CBN already.
In case of corruption, in case of diversion,
they can't be diversion because of the way it has been structured, because they've done pilot scheme. And we are also making noise on the TV, on our electronic.
They know they are right. They
basic things, you will get it, because that is the reason for the Basic Healthcare Provision.
I have to let you run off, but see, I can't let you go without. I can't let you go without.
And I'm also saying that the health insurance scheme is also running now, so it's an holistic.
Okay, so let's talk. Okay, let me let you jump first.
You know, at the last stage of your election petition happening at the Supreme Court, I think this week now.
Next week, I think.
Next week.
Today.
Next week, okay.
So how optimistic are you of
No, very optimistic. It's obvious. You know, they just blackmailed us. We won the election. Subsequent election after House of Assembly, out of 26, we won 23. National Assembly, out of 6 reps, out of 9 reps, we won 6.
Senate, why are we talking about it?
We have 2. Yeah, we are not supposed to talk about it, but we're optimistic. We are.
You're optimistic. Let's drop it. That's it. I don't want us to talk about the case. What I wanted to, because since you work for the government, and it's important that when we see people like you, we throw certain questions at you. When we hear you get X amount of billion from the federation. For example, in the paper, it was 600 and something, 97 that was shared among states, local governments, and everybody. When that money comes to you, give us an example. How do you share it? How much goes to salaries? How do you split it? Because you're sitting here that money, and I wonder, how come I don't have this?
3 tiers of government.
Yes.
Federal government alone takes over 50%.
How much comes to you? It's just it.
20-something%.
There was 2 months ago or 3 months ago, we got 287 million.
Million, I mean billion.
Million. So, if you want to know how much comes to Osun, you will be amused. A chunk of our revenue goes to salary. We're a state with a whole lot of civil servants. So, chunk of our salary goes to, revenue goes to salary. Like 2 months, we got less than 300 million as allocation that got to the state because of some financial obligations. So,
yes.
But as a government, the civil servant, the man on the street doesn't want to know you got 280 million. They just want to result.
Thank you for taking me there. I have a call. Let me come back. I believe on the line. Morning. Are you there?
Hello, good morning.
Go ahead, please.
I just want to contribute with the person online. First and foremost, what causes insecurity and what causes damages to people is caused by poverty. People go into kidnapping, hacking, and so ever because of they don't have job, they don't have the salaries are not paid. In me looking at Osun, I've been to the Osun. I think the government the government does not have any they don't need to owe people salaries because first and foremost, Osun is a state of agriculture. It's a state where the government can sit down with the farmers, invest on the farmers, and make money. So for them to pay the amenities, salaries, so on and so forth. What Mr. Guest on this thing is saying, I think it's irrelevant.
Okay.
For you to combat insecurity.
All right. Thank you very much
for you to combat security, you have to pay.
Thank you very much for your view. Go ahead.
I think I need to correct that impression. Countries with good economy, they kidnap. There are cases of crime. So criminal is a criminal. We must not necessarily say because poverty. There are people from the rich home that still steal. So it's a societal thing. I just want to appeal to everybody that it's a collective
we have to run off. Yes.
One question, one tweet here says, please, I'm expecting somebody to ask the guest in the studio, why is it that it's only civil servants and pensioners that the government owes salaries? Why not owe across board, the executive, the legislature, the judiciary as well?
I'm being honed, salary, you can't, it's the civil servant that prepares salary now. So they can't pay you full salary when they are not getting full salary. So every one of us is being honed. As a commissioner, we didn't have money to buy official car, so I never had official car.
Okay.
So it's an economic challenge that we're all tackling.
Hello, are you there from Ikorodu? As we run off, let me just ask this final question. People said that before the former governor left, that he has indebted the state for the next 30 years. So that's why you're getting 200 million, I'll be 300 million now, because former governor has put you in such debt.
Why did all these investments seem to fail? The Osun farming, why did all those things? Explain to us.
The federal government adopted our scheme. It is still going on. And I must say this, the country with the highest debt is the US, and they are the best economy. So you cannot develop your economy without recourse to loan. And I must correct this impression.
Yes.
By September this year, some of our loan will finish the payment, and our allocation would increase.
Okay.
People just like blackmailing Governor Rauf Aregbesola, not because of his belief and on some other thing. But I must say that he did well as a governor. The man that is here, it's not that if we didn't do well, we won't win 20 million. They have said that I didn't win anything. Go and look at our schools infrastructure. We must not just stay in Lagos and be saying we had this, we had this.
So if Adeleke wins next week, what would you do?
You can't win now. They didn't win the election. The Court of Appeal, 4-1.
Okay.
It was clear. They told
That's
him.
all we can take. Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you so much. We're all looking beautiful.
That's
We're
all.
all fine.
Thank you.
Osun is a state you need to visit. Don't just come with host you.
Outside OAU, I don't know what else in Osun. Outside OAU, I don't know what else in the state,
Osun
please.
now.
No, there are a lot of things in Osun. I'm in Osun now. Governor Boyega Itola is in Osun
Don't
now.
worry, they'll host us.
Let's
Come
go
and look at the healthcare
When we
facilities
come
we are
back,
doing.
breaking news.
Breaking.
Crashing news.
All the tables shattered.
Oh, stay with us, Black. Jesus.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. View.
No mobile phone.
Welcome back. Those of you on social media will probably have an idea what we're talking about this morning because the news is just breaking. I mean, it broke very late last night, and we're not here to bash anybody. We're just telling you what we read on social media. So I think by next week, it will continue to brew, and hopefully by next week, we'll have more information and more data to work with. But as of this morning, what we have is that Timi Dakolo's wife is breaking or crashing the internet about telling us what happened to her, I think, before the age of 18, while she was a worker in a church, how her spiritual father forced himself into her. And it was a graphic description of what happened. And you know, recently, Timi Dakolo actually came out to say a certain pastor
Leaves women unbroken.
Leaves women unbroken
Across states.
Across the states, and that he had enough evidence. Many people did not know that he was actually referring to his wife.
Hey.
And his wife has come out today to say she's the one he was referring to, and comes up with this graphic story of this man of God. Now, Instablock has mentioned the name of the pastor. I personally don't like mentioning pastors' names because we can't use one pastor to tarnish the image of all good pastors. So I personally don't
human beings,
squeeze your face, that's your business. I personally don't like that, but let us just put him as pastor and her. But in your view, when you heard the story, what came across your mind?
We've discussed this thing before when Timi first broke this table. And people were saying that, why is he bringing it up? He said he had it on good authority, that he knows the person that was involved, and that he was bringing it up because it was still ongoing. So the issue, why I feel we should discuss it, is because according to Timi Dakolo, it is still ongoing. His wife, a photographer and a mother, said this happened to her before she was 18. So it was years back. But she's saying it now because she has heard that the man is still doing it. How long are we going to? We can't keep silent because we think, oh, it's not relating to us personally, or because he's a man of God, or because he's respected, or he's a popular person. If he is still taking advantage of women, then every woman that has experienced this should speak up and rally round each other and prosecute this man.
Hey.
When this news broke, when Timi Dakolo mentioned this, a lot of people went for him. A lot of people.
Yeah,
people totally did not even fight. They refused to deal or address the issue. They focused on the person of Timi.
Thou shalt not touch.
And the fact that he's an anointed man of God, and he shouldn't criticize or question a pastor. But does this confession change the entire scope of what we're talking about now?
She's not confessing to anything. She's sharing an ordeal. I survived 2 rape attempts. Thank God they were attempts. And I witnessed in the community I lived in how an Afa was accused by a girl of having raped her. And everybody just rushed at the girl for seducing him.
On hijab.
Nobody listened to... She wasn't on hijab. But even then, even though she wasn't wearing the hijab, everybody just rushed at the girl for seducing him. Nobody wanted to know.
Let me pause for a second, because there's some people that have no idea what this lady said. So let me just share that. So what she said, according to the video that I broke, is that I think she was in a hotel.
Yes.
So she had a knock.
She was in her own house.
Is it her own house?
According to the one I listened. Okay. He visited the house, and it was a duplex, but it was a big place.
Yes.
And when he opened the door, this is a person of respect, person that you know, and came into her living room. I didn't listen to
6 and 7 a.m. very early, and she was in her pajamas. Yeah. She was really shocked. She was in a nightgown. What was this man of God? He stepped in. He didn't say a word, according to her.
And remember, she was less than 18. She was still a young teenager.
Yes. So he walked in, and of course she was initially frightened. Then he holds up her mouth
and told her
that, Busola, don't say a word. Just do as I asked you to do. and then he removed everything under her underwears, and then he went into her. Now, that's where the story practically ended. Now, hearing this kind of confession, let me come back to you, Nima. What do you make of it?
Unfortunately...
Can she still press charges?
Of course she can. If we can get witnesses who can confirm that at that point in time this was a visit, but it will be a real serious struggle, because to even establish rape is to successfully establish rape is largely based on getting the evidence, and it's already too late for that.
Can he sue her? Because this is just her words against him. He should sue.
Okay, he should sue. It's still his words against hers.
Okay.
And now he should be tilting more on the balance of circumstances for the court to determine whose side is stronger.
Right.
Which is why I said every other person.
Because if you risk suing her, more women can come out.
Unfortunately for him, if he tries it, more women and even people with fresher cases might come out, and he would lose his case. And then she would have a strong case. For her to come out now, she knows that she has more people on her side. It's usually annoying when people do not understand psychologically what a young girl would go through trying to establish her innocence. I remember when one of those cases happened. Unfortunately, we were a strong Muslim family and a strong Christian family raised this boy. So they just played it along religious line like I was stupid. I remember my mom flaring and shouting, and everybody was just trying to kill the story like I was stupid. He came into my father's house on my own bed and attempted such on me. If I wasn't a strong person, or I was outspoken, and he was afraid that this would go public, I probably would have finished the job.
Right.
And when I came out and I said it, the first thing mother said, and that's how I would have lost if he had achieved that. Nobody would have listened to my side of the story.
Right.
It's painful. Psychologically, it's not easy for anybody to try to continue to establish their innocence. And it brings you to that point where you become tough, you become... There's no rubbish I can take from anybody, and then people will not see you like someone that is not that's too hard.
Yeah, let me come to you.
Like, my heart is so broken this morning. I don't even know where to start from. First of all, I want to commend her for her strength coming out at the moment. I know if she had come out earlier, maybe would have gotten somewhere. But now it's been a long time since she was 18. She should be like in her 30s now. But then the fact that she came out to give a lot of young women out there who have gone through one of these things to come out there and share their ordeals, to encourage people that when somebody comes out to say, I have been raped or something like this happened to me, we shouldn't focus on naming and shaming the victim. We should focus on finding the root cause. And I remember when we discussed that issue here, a lot of people attacked us. Hey, you people are talking about the man of God, people are talking about this. And I said, there is no smoke without fire. What we should be thinking of is how to investigate and make sure that what they are saying actually is not true. And not just to say that you don't talk to a man of God like that because he's a man of God. He's first a man before the man of God.
Let me take this call from Comfort. Are you there?
Yeah, good morning.
Morning. Go ahead, please.
It's not a shame that things like this are going on in our society, and we are not addressing it.
Okay.
Personally, I'm a victim. I think I was 15 years old.
Survivor.
I'm in my mid-30s now. And I could not confide in anybody until almost the time I was getting married. I had to open up to my fiancé. It's heartbreaking when you see things going on like this in our society. Young girls being taken advantage of by so-called men of God who they are supposed to trust in. For my own, I was not close to the pastor. I was not his church member. I was just passing through the church all of the time, and it was like, oh, you look very sexy. Look at the hair on your hairs and all of that.
Hey, Pastor.
Thank you very much for sharing that. Yes, Dr.
I think that we need to encourage everyone, and I want to do this opportunity to encourage everyone that has been abused by this said pastor to stand up in support of every woman that your statement will prevent this from happening again. We cannot keep quiet while a powerful man in the court of being powerful would oppress people, and we'll all just shut up and worship the person.
Right.
He's a man, and so he should be dealt with as a man.
This story just broke. That's what we're mentioning, but we can't exhaust it, so we're definitely going to make it a topic when by Monday, I'm sure more angles have come up and we'll have more things to talk about. So it's just to share with you what broke. But our celebrity guest just walked in, so we're going to go on a break. When we come back, we'll have him on the show. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. So, over the years, Fuji music has organically evolved into our society, with some of the Fuji artists merging with hip-hop singers to perform hits amongst them. On the show today is a popular Fuji artist who has performed virtually in almost every state in Nigeria and has taken Fuji outside the shores of the country. Welcome with us, Suleiman Adil, probably known as Atawewe.
Morojo.
So, I mean, obviously, the brain kept you out well, but let's start with the merger of Fuji and hip-hop. Everybody has been talking about the fact that we're creating these Nigerian beats and all that. How in your own experience, how have you been able to merge hip-hop and are you planning to even merge with hip-hop artists?
Glory be to God, you know. Fuji has been the household music in Nigeria for a very long time, and up till date. As you can see, no hip-hop artist, juju artist, akpala artist, they're going to compose their song without no Fuji in it. They got to put it. Because if you don't put it, the slang you need, the beat, the percussion you need, Fuji has everything.
So people don't realize that. They don't realize that what they listen to when they listen to hip-hop, the Afro beat kind of hip-hop, the beats that give that rhythm is originally
here is Fuji, So that means every music in Nigeria, you got to do with Fuji. Without Fuji, there's no, you have nowhere to go, because one way or the other, you are going to put something out of Fuji in your own music. So that is why Fuji is very, very important.
People have always criticized Fuji for being a local kind of sound. People like Mo, the Lagosians find it rare.
What people say.
People say it like that. But you know, we know there's the Akbala kind of music that certain kind of people would prefer, that they just dance to. They're usually subtle messages under those tunes. As obscene as one of your musicians, I will not mention his name, sounds. There was a particular song where he said that, there was a line where he used that, in Nigeria we wake up and hear kukuruku and we don't have chicken. But when we go abroad, we don't hear any sound. There's chicken too much, chicken they run for us. How do you use your own sound to address societal issues and ensure that you get it across to people who would listen to it to bring reforms?
Okay. You want to pass a message across to the people. Every artist is a mouthpiece for the public. So, like me, if the government is doing something that is not making sense, like the people are complaining, as a mouthpiece to the public, there's a way I'm going to tell them. I don't need to abuse anybody. I don't need to fight anyone, but I'm going to go straight to the message. So when I give the message out, those people...
You drop a line for us before you leave today. Because there are many issues.
So I'm very curious about originality. Because I hear people say, you're doing rap. Rap is not original to our culture. You're doing R&B, it's not original to our culture. And this Fuji music is original to this culture. So what advice would you give to artists who want to, they see themselves as young and they don't want to go that local, but they still want to be original?
That is why I keep saying, whatever you want to do it right. If you don't do it right, you can't get it right. So you are trying to do something as a young man. Okay, I've been in the system right from my tender age, since 4 years. I've been in this game. And I know in and out of the game. The game has taken me far and wide, all over the world. It's the same thing. That shows that the originality is in there. Without Fuji, Fuji is the originator of Nigerian music. Everybody in this country, you are an artist. There's no way you're going to sing
without Fuji.
You can't do it.
Should we all be singing Fuji
that is why I'm having... That is why I'm having a little problem with some artists. Okay, you use one of my track as an hip-hop. You can't even say, you don't even mention my name in your... and the truck is giving you millions, both home and abroad, and you see yourself as I'm this, I'm that. I don't want to sue anybody. If you have a product,
But I
and
disagree.
a lot of people are benefiting from your product, that means you are a legend.
No, that's the same thing Kwan said when he was here. But this is your intellectual property.
Yeah, I know.
If you created certain things, anybody using it must not just acknowledge. In certain class, they pay royalty.
I know. That is why you see there's a problem between one hip hop and other. It's, maybe the one that sing in Ajegule, whatever. The other one sings. So that the other guy then he can handle the hate. You got to sue the other. Yeah. So, but we don't want to go through that because when they say, what's wrong with them? Are they not old enough? I don't know. They have been in the game for very long. But in Nigeria, they don't really get it right. When you are fighting for your right.
I want to ask you about your majority of your audience. Now, I know that you perform around the world, and it's not everybody there that is on the local Agbero level, but within our locality, those that listen to Fuji most are the Agberos, people on the street.
No, I'm not going to take that.
Okay,
no,
okay, a lot of them.
Listen.
Let me answer my questions, John.
I'm here with you now.
Yes, and we're having a conversation.
Okay.
I take exception.
A cappella. You're going to start dancing. So everything has changed.
Everything has changed.
Yeah, everything has changed.
How are you using your music to address the Agberos to aspire to a better life? Because they listen to you and they love you and they will trust you.
Listen.
I'm not on the same thing. No, but they are jumping on the streets. Sir, you are not living with them. You are traveling. See, you travel around the world.
I'm part and parcel of this system.
Yes.
There's nothing. We don't need to differentiate anything here.
Fan na fan.
Fans, if you're a music lover, you are a music lover. Nothing but music lover. So, when I'm coming now, if you have never met me and they introduce you to me, this is a Fuji artist. Will you believe me as a Fuji artist?
No, you're well dressed, sir. Nicely trimmed and all that.
So, how will you now tell me my fans are Agberos? And even you are dancing to my music.
I'm not dancing to your music. but how is your music getting them to aspire? Because honestly, we've had other people on the show.
It's not particularly to some crowd. It's for everybody. If I give out an advice, the advice is not for
everybody.
I had a call,
let's not miss
Hold on a second. Okay, I thought I had a call.
Okay, let's not miss the first question. Presently now in Yoruba land, amongst the Yoruba states, we have a confraternity clashes every time. This thing has come into NURT, enter every facet. What are you doing with your music to change mindset, to at least sing a song that will make people's children sit at home and not join this thing?
In this country, what we are facing, the most problem we are facing is poverty. Poverty can lead you to anything. If you don't have anything you are doing, you just wake up. So we've tried a lot, and what I know about cultism is within the campus, but now the mechanic
everywhere.
Okay, honestly, I'm not happy that you came late because we have to run off. But I have to run. But you've gone to Hajj. I see your teeth. And I see a piercing in your ear. Okay, street go. I see a piercing on your ear.
Is piercing bad?
So you have put everything that you that you are responsible.
No, being a long time you are responsible.
I'm not here.
Okay, thank you very much for coming. We have to bring you back.
Yes.
Because we didn't get enough from you because of the rain. But when you come back another time, we'll discuss family because we like to hear about gist. You know, how many wives you have?
How many children?
We keep talking about this all the time. Last time just one.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah.
No outside.
Presently or before?
No concubine.
Right from the one up till now.
But I was looking for people like you, but me, I like polygamy.
You enjoyed your presence here with us.
Those shots,
That's all we can take. Unfortunately, we couldn't take it more. As I said, the news that broke today, we're going to talk about it next week. We're going to find some slot to slide in next week. But let's see what happens and let's see the reactions of Nigerians before we bring it to your view. Have a fabulous weekend. We'll see you Monday. Bye-bye.